Response times would be reduced. They'd be responding to the aftermath rather than getting there in time to prevent some bad things from happening.
Chair Tobin Hope says they never wanted to cut jobs from the Sheriff's Department. He says he knows how critical they are to the county. He says the board unanimously approved a motion to fund current law enforcement operations through the end of December.
The fear was that we would lay people off October 1st and then do a millage after that, and there would be some gap and there would be difficulty getting people back.
He says that move is contingent on passing the county's 6.61 millage renewal in August. The hope is that a special law enforcement millage that some citizens have been pushing, that they plan to put on the November 5th ballot, will secure the additional funds needed to keep operations going after that.
We haven't worked out exactly what the millage rate itself will be. It will be much less than the 2.5 that we asked for in February.
Tobin says they're putting the special millage on the November ballot so it doesn't compete with the millage renewal and because more voters come out for the November elections.
This is an attempt to come back to hopefully give the voters what they wanted, a specific special millage so they know exactly what it's going for, exactly the mills, exactly the dollars, exactly the length of time.
Frost says after the levy failed and word got out that road patrol could be eliminated, the public weighed in asking for commissioners to do something.
So we had a lot of public comment, extensive, I would say, public comment, begging us to fund the police, begging us to put an initiative on the ballot if we couldn't find the funds in the general fund.
She says it's a tough position for the county.
We employ people who provide services for the most part. So our budget is largely wages and benefits. So when you want to cut, you can't cut office supply budgets and get to the savings that you need. You have to cut positions and people.
Frost says it took some time to figure out exactly what the millage would look like.
The holdoff a little bit has been, working through that zero-based budget, seeing how much reduced we can make the county general fund operations.
She says the funds would be just for law enforcement.
Not just their salaries and wages and fringe benefits, but also for their vehicles, right? For the gas, tires, and oil, for those vehicles, for their communications, for anything that the deputies might need.
Frost says the picture of their community without road patrol is not a picture anyone wants to become a reality.
I know sheriffs painted a picture of this county similar to other counties that are close to us who have had to lay off their road patrol in the past. And I know the counties have struggled to regain footing even a decade later.
In Isabella County, voters are being asked to decide on a nearly $4 million millage proposal that would keep their road patrol on the streets. 9 and 10's Jody Meeson has been keeping you updated on this proposal for months now. She joins us live with how the sheriff is working to get support for it. Jody.
David, Katie, it's been a tumultuous year in Isabella County. Last February, voters rejected a funding proposal forcing the county to make some serious budget cuts. The day after February's election, the county administrator, Nicole Frost, sent out a letter warning people non-essential services would be cut. Soon after, it was announced that the road patrol, one of the county's biggest expenses, was under threat of being eliminated starting in October. That's when county commissioners stepped in and voted to fund the patrol until the end of the year, hoping to buy some time to find the funding to keep it alive. That's what's led to the $3.7 million millage proposal. If passed, it would allow 20 deputies to keep their jobs. If voters turn it down, the future of road patrol in Isabella County would very much be in doubt. Sheriff Michael Main says it's been a difficult few months for his department.
So no, it is tough when your job's on the line. I mean, a lot of people get laid off. A lot of people lose their jobs. These folks, I can't say enough about them. Their attitude has stayed strong. They come in the morning, they get dressed, they go out, and they take the worst of the worst calls.
The proposed millage, if passed, would last for 6 years. If it does not pass, only the sheriff and undersheriff would be left to cover the entire county. The sheriff says it would take years to rebuild if the road patrol was cut. Live in Isabella County, Jody Meeson, 9 and 10 News.
This is tough. I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't consider this millage not passing. it wasn't possible in my mind. It wasn't feasible.
County Administrator Nicole Frost says she was stunned by the results. Still in shock, she hasn't been able to reach out to Sheriff Michael Main yet.
I can't find the words.
She says she's been thinking about the families impacted by the cuts and about the public as well.
I worry about what happens when the citizens feel the real impact of having the loss of so many deputy positions.
The sheriff's office declined our request for an interview, but did send us a statement that reads in part, "Our ability to maintain 24/7 patrol operations will likely diminish almost immediately. There may be days when no deputies are on duty, and response times will be prioritized based on urgency and resource availability." Michigan State Police in Mount Pleasant says safety and security are top concerns, and they plan to continue to work with the sheriff's office. County Chair Tobin Hope says he's concerned about response times, especially in more rural areas of the county.
We have state police, but they're limited in staff, and they have a large area of several counties. There's only so much they can do. So the rest of that falls on the Isabella County Sheriff's Department.
Michelle Thompson, an EMT firefighter, is part of a group that's been backing the Sheriff's Office Road Patrol. She says today has been emotionally rough for the Road Patrol families.
I'm angry, disappointed, sad, and scared. I love my community, and I've been proud to be a resident and serve in Isabella County. Today, I do not feel that way. I feel like people took their anger toward the county administration out on the Road Patrol deputies.
Thompson warned this is the wrong move.
Crime will increase, calls will go unanswered, care will be delayed, people will die, all over money.
Thompson says in a last-ditch effort, they're asking every voter that backed the millage to attend the Board of Commissioners meeting on the 19th to beg them to reconsider finding the funds, but Hope says they're out of moves.
This millage was going to fund 20 law enforcement positions, so without it, I don't know how to fill in those gaps.